Lily sat up in bed, stretched her arms, and trotted downstairs for breakfast. Her mom made the best pancakes, and she could smell them all the way from her room.
Good morning, Mommy.
Morning, sweetheart. Oh dear, it looks like a fairy's been sleeping in your hair again.
Lily ran to look at her reflection in the mirror that hung in the hallway. Whoa, Nellie! Her hair was a tangled mess.
Lily made her way to the kitchen with a frown.
You're so glum.
I like that a fairy sleeps with me every night, but does she have to turn my hair into a bird's nest?
Don't you mean a fairy nest? Would you like me to tell you another story about the fairy that sleeps in your hair?
Yes, Mommy.
In the corner of a beautiful wildflower field, in the biggest and reddest rose, lived a fairy. Her name was Ruby.
She has curly red hair and 7 red freckles that stretch across her nose and cheeks.
She always wears a red dress and red sparkled shoes.
She carries a wand and ties a red ribbon in her hair.
Even Ruby's wings are red. Ruby is very friendly and kind to everyone she meets. Her best friend is a bumblebee named Buffy. Buffy lives in a honeybee hive in a big oak tree. He was adopted by the queen bee when he was just a larva.
Ruby and Buffy play with each other every day. They went on all kinds of adventures together.
Ruby is a curious fairy, but even though she doesn't mean to, she tends to get in trouble.
Buffy's very sweet and smart.
She's a good friend and tries to keep Ruby from getting into too much trouble.
What kind of trouble does Ruby get into, Mommy?
Well, why don't I tell you about the time she got stuck in Mr. Harry E. Spider's web?
One sunny morning, Ruby woke up and poked her head outside. She took a deep breath and surveyed the garden.
Yep, today is the day. Today is the day I break my speed flying record.
Ruby got dressed, tied a ribbon in her hair, grabbed her wand, and headed to Buffy's. Buffy was already waiting for her when Ruby got there. Hi there, Ruby. What took you so long?
Oh, I slept in a little this morning. I spent all night playing in Lily's hair.
Here, I saved you some honey for breakfast.
Golly, thanks, Buffy.
Ruby, you're talking with your mouth open again.
Sorry. Guess what I'm going to do today?
What?
I'm going to break my speed flying record.
Oh.
Buffy remembered the last time she tried to break her speed flying record. She was flying so fast that she flew right into an azalea bush and got stuck.
It took him 3 hours to get Ruby out of that bush. Maybe please just play hide and seek with the ladybugs.
No way! Today is the perfect day for flying. A gentle breeze, not a cloud in the sky. Today is the day.
Ruby stretched her arms out and rubbed her wings for luck.
Okay, from your oak tree to my rose, you say go.
I am on a cassette. Go! Ruby took off as fast as her wings could fly. Everything around her was a blur. She was flying faster than she had ever flown.
She was excited. She looked back at Buffy to see if he was watching.
He was waving and shouting something, but Ruby couldn't hear what he was telling him.
Surely he was just cheering her on. She turned around and splat!
Ruby flew right into a spider web.
It wasn't just any other spider web. It belonged to Harry E. Spider, the grumpiest spider ever.
Uh-oh, this is not good.
Oh, Ruby, are you okay?
Yes, but where did this web come from?
Didn't you hear me yelling to watch out?
Guess not. We better get me out of here before Harry finds us.
Ruby and Buffy tried to wrestle her free from the web, but it was no use. The harder Buffy pulled and the harder Ruby pushed, the more stuck in the web she became.
Ugh, I'm really stuck.
Who dare destroy my beautiful web?
It's me, Ruby Fairy. I'm very sorry, Mr. Spider. It was an accident. I was trying to break my speed flying record and...
It seems the only thing you managed to break was my web.
Please, sir, don't be angry. It really was an accident.
Suddenly, a big hairy spider crawled over the web and stood over Ruby. He glared at Buffy, who hovered above the web.
I don't suppose you two are gonna fix this, are you?
Well, we can try. Do you think you can help me up? I'm really stuck.
You got yourself stuck, you can get yourself unstuck.
Ruby started to cry. Harry looked at her, and before she could say another word, Harry cut the web around her and she fell to the ground.
Ugh! It's not like you could fix the web anyways. I'll just have to work extra hard to fix it. Now go away!
Ruby felt very bad about destroying the web, but she knew if she tried, she could fix it. Could you use your magic to fix it?
Ugh! What a great idea!
Ruby reached for her wand to only discover it was broken. It broke when she crashed into the spider web. Oh no, your wand! I'm so sorry, Ruby.
That's okay, Buffy. I'm not worried about my wand. How are we ever going to fix Harry's web? He seems so upset.
He's always upset.
Buffy!
Sorry, I'll help, but neither of us know how to spin a new web.
We can do this. Think. What can we use to put it back together? We'll need something sticky. Sticky like honey!
The two friends spent the rest of the day piecing together Harry's web. They connected the broken strands with a dab of honey from Buffy's hive.
It was a lot of work. Ruby and Buffy now understand why Harry was so upset.
It was almost dark when they finally finished. They were exhausted. They gave each other a hug and went home to bed.
The next morning, Ruby woke up and flew to Buffy's hive to meet him for breakfast.
On her way, she looked at Harry's web. It was still together, but there was something on it.
Ruby flew over to get a closer look.
Spun right into the web were the words, "Thank you."
Mommy, do you think Harry E. Spider is the same spider that lives in your garden?
Perhaps.
As soon as her mom stopped brushing her hair, Lily jumped down from her chair, grabbed a pancake, and headed outside to another spider garden, singing all the way. Maybe, just maybe, she might catch a glance of Ruby trying to break her speed flying record.
Rapscallions, buffoons.
Give a paw.
Wait.
Sorry. Okay.
It's me, Ruby Fairy. I'm very sorry, Mr. Spider. It was an accident.
What?
An accident.
It was an oozing accident.
Thank you.
Not like that. Go ahead.
Wait, go.
Yes.
Buffy remembered the last time.
Ah, slow down.
It's supposed to taste like onions.
Then maybe don't eat those.
Maybe eat your goldfish.
Do it one more time. I was recording. All right, here we go.
I wanted to say short.
Can you do it again without smiling?
Quiet, guys.
You can't not smile. Take a breath and go into it.
No, Buffy! Get out of my way! Stop trying to save me from trouble!
More bloopers.
Wait, what is it?
No way.
He was watching.
That's another good blooper right there.
She's still recording.
Quiet.
Hamilton has the hiccups.
Buffy was waving and watching some.
Try again. Here we
Waving
go,
and
fine.
shouting something, but Ruby couldn't hear what he was saying.
Booby.
Quiet, please. Didn't you hear me shouting to watch out? I don't know why I think it's
Ruby and Buffy.
Ruby and Buffy wrestled.
Ruby together. We need something sticky. Something like
Honey.
No, we said honey together.
I was definitely filming.